Imagine standing in the middle of a packed London concert hall. The air is thick with anticipation, that kind of heavy, electric tension that makes your chest feel tight and your heart beat just a little faster. The lights above you are dimmed, glowing in soft red and gold, casting a warm haze over the crowd. People are pressed shoulder to shoulder, every space filled. You can hear a low hum of conversation, laughter breaking out in bursts, the occasional shout from someone already hyped up. Somewhere off in the distance, just beyond the stage curtain, the sound of a guitar being tuned cuts through the noise, sharp, metallic, teasing. You can't help but glance toward the stage every few seconds, waiting for that first moment when the show will truly begin. You know exactly why you're here. You're about to see Alice Cooper. The man who's been defying rock conventions for decades, who has turned concerts into theater, who can make a stage feel like a haunted house and a wild party all at once. The energy is already wild, and he hasn't even walked out yet. Fans around you are decked out in full Alice Cooper makeup, thick black eyeliner, streaks running down their cheeks like melted mascara tears. Others are wearing faded tour shirts from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, proudly showing off that they've been here for the ride since way before tonight. You catch the smell of beer, the faint scent of leather jackets, the sharp tang of cigarette smoke clinging to hair and clothes. Somewhere near the back, someone starts chanting Alice. Alice, and a few people join in. The noise grows, then fades again into restless murmurs. Suddenly, the house lights drop completely. The entire hall is swallowed in darkness. There's a collective gasp from the crowd, followed by a split second of silence before a single white spotlight hits the center of the stage. And there he is, Alice Cooper himself, standing perfectly still for just a beat too long, letting the moment build. Then, with no warning, the opening chords of one of his classic hits blast through the speakers, and the room explodes. People scream, clap, jump, throw their hands into the air. The floor seems to vibrate beneath you. The bass is so deep you can feel it in your bones. Alice's voice cuts through the chaos, raw, powerful, unmistakable. The set is tight, the band is flawless. Song after song, the night builds into something electric. The theatrics are there, the snake around Alice's shoulders, the dramatic lighting shifts, the moments where he stares down the crowd like he's daring you to look away. You don't. Nobody does. Time stops mattering, you're just inside the music, inside the performance. And then, something shifts. It's subtle at first. Between songs, Alice pauses. His expression changes, just slightly, into that sly, knowing grin that longtime fans recognize instantly. It's the look that says you're about to see something special. The band hangs back, letting the noise in the room settle into a low rumble. Somewhere on the far side of the stage, there's movement, small, barely noticeable if you're not paying attention. One of the roadies wheels out an extra guitar amp. It blends into the rest of the gear like it's always been there, but to anyone who's been to more than a few shows, that's the sign. Something's about to happen. Your eyes follow the movement near the curtain. There's a shadow there. A figure. The spotlight doesn't catch him yet, but the outline is enough to make you curious. He steps forward just a little, enough for the lights to graze the edge of a wide-brimmed hat. The crowd closest to the stage starts reacting before they even fully see him. Gasps, a few loud shouts, a ripple of excitement rolling backward through the room. And then he walks out. It's casual, almost too casual. No big announcement. No booming voice saying his name. Just a slow, confident stroll across the stage, a guitar slung low over his shoulder. His hat's pulled down enough to shadow part of his face, but it doesn't matter, everyone knows. The recognition is instant. It's Johnny Depp. The reaction is explosive. The room erupts into screams that are different from the usual concert cheers. This is the sound of people realizing they're about to witness something they'll be talking about for years. Phones fly into the air. People shout his name, some in disbelief, some just to make sure he knows they see him. He doesn't rush. He moves like a man who belongs there, like this isn't a surprise guest appearance at all, it's just another night, another gig. Johnny walks straight toward Alice. No handshake, no staged greeting, just a small nod. They've done this before, in a different time, on different stages with the Hollywood vampires. There's an unspoken language between them. Alice gives him that look, half welcome, half challenge, and Johnny responds with the faintest smirk. He picks up a guitar pick, adjusts the strap, and then it begins. The first riff hits like a shockwave. It's loud, gritty, and full of that raw, bluesy swagger that tells you this isn't about showing off, it's about the music. Johnny's fingers move across the fretboard like he's been doing this every day for decades. And in a way, he has. This isn't a movie star pretending to play rock and roll. This is a man who's been a serious guitarist since before most people knew his name. The crowd is locked in. People in the front row are mouthing every word to the song, their eyes darting between Alice's theatrical performance and Johnny's focused, grounded playing. The two feed off each other. Alice leaning toward Johnny during certain riffs, Johnny sliding into a solo that makes the entire band lean back just to give him space. It's seamless. Effortless. Like he's been part of this lineup for years. There's a moment, quick, almost invisible, where Johnny glances back at the drummer, locking into the rhythm like it's second nature. The grin that spreads across the drummer's face is pure joy. These are the moments musicians live for, the moments where the music is alive, unpredictable, perfect. The energy in the room starts to shift again. You can feel it in your chest. The volume of the crowd rises with every passing second, like they collectively realize this isn't a one-song cameo. This is a full-on jam session. Johnny isn't just there to smile, wave, and leave, he's in it. The solos get dirtier, the riffs get heavier, and the call and response between Alice and Johnny gets sharper, more daring. If you're paying close attention, you'll notice the guitar Johnny's using isn't fresh from the shop. It's road-worn, the finish scuffed and dulled from years of gigs. It has that history in it, the kind you can't fake. This is one of his favorites, the kind of instrument that feels like an extension of your own body after so many years. You can hear it in the way the notes bend, in the way he digs into the strings. Minutes stretch into what feels like a private, unrepeatable moment in music history. The crowd is caught between singing along and just watching, because they know they won't see this exact thing again. It's the kind of magic you can't plan, the kind that only happens when two people who love what they do end up on the same stage at the same time. And then, all at once, it's over. The final chord rings out, hanging in the air like a held breath. Johnny steps back, gives Alice another small nod, and without a word, he turns and starts walking toward the edge of the stage. There's no farewell speech, no exaggerated goodbye. Just a tiny wave to the crowd, the guitar hanging loose over his shoulder, and then he's gone. Disappearing into the shadows like he was never there, except everyone knows he was, and nobody will forget it. The crowd takes a beat to process, and then the noise hits again. People are shouting over each other, trying to put into words what they just saw. Friends are grabbing each other's arms, wide-eyed. Strangers are laughing, shaking their heads, saying, "Did that just happen?" The front row is frantically tapping at their phones, uploading shaky videos to social media before the adrenaline wears off. And somewhere, in a quiet corner backstage, Johnny's probably just smiling to himself. Because for him, it's never been about the headlines or the shock value. It's about that connection, that surge of energy you can only get when the music's alive and the moment is real. That night in London wasn't a planned publicity stunt. It was a living, breathing piece of rock history. Johnny Depp isn't just an actor who plays guitar on weekends. He's a musician in his bones. He's shared stages with legends, traded solos with some of the greatest guitarists alive, and when he picks up that instrument, he becomes something different. Not Jack Sparrow. Not Edward Scissorhands. Just Johnny Depp, guitarist, lost in the sound. And for everyone in that room, that's exactly how they'll remember it. Not as a celebrity cameo, but as the night they saw two worlds collide, Hollywood and hard rock, right in front of their eyes. They'll tell the story over and over. I was there. I saw Johnny Depp crash an Alice Cooper concert. And every time they say it, they'll feel that same electric rush, that same disbelief, like they're standing in that dark, crowded hall all over again, waiting for the next unexpected legend to step out from the shadows.